up, MedGirl Squad? It's future Dr. Rezi, and if you don't know me, hi! My name is Orezume Uye, and I'm the author and illustrator of a children's book called Girls for Medicine, right up there. And this book is meant to encourage kids, especially Black and brown girls, to pursue careers in healthcare. Why? Because representation matters. Today, we are going to be interviewing, once again, another physician. Without further ado, let us introduce Dr. Charis. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. So, Dr. Charis, what would you like for them first to know about you? Just a little bio before we go into the fun questions.
Sure. So I'm from Alabama. I come from a big family, and I'm actually the third doctor in my family, which is kind of cool. Definitely not required for anyone to go into medicine, but it gives me someone to talk to and someone to really just kind of relate to on those weird days when medicine may be tough or funny or just kind of super entertaining. So I love that.
That's so cool. Wait, that's really cool. 3 doctors in the family. I cannot relate, but that's really, really great. Especially if you talk about how when you officially go into medicine and you're just studying for medical school, you do have someone to talk to. That's really encouraging. So we do want to learn a lot more about you. So you already said you were from Alabama, but what's a fun fact about you? And yeah, let's start with that. What's a fun fact about you?
A fun fact about me is I was a national champion cheerleader in high school. I was the captain of my team. We were super competitive and we won nationals, which was awesome. And I love cheerleading and all of the things about cheerleading because it taught me how to, kind of be in front of a crowd, how to encourage people, and how to work in a team. So I love that.
That's amazing because I know I can't do any of those moves that you guys do. My body rejects that. But that's so cool. What is your favorite food of all time? You may have more than one, but just let's say you're trapped in an island and you had to pick one food to take with you, unlimited supply. What would that be? What's your favorite food?
This is going to sound super ridiculous, but brownies, like chocolate fudge brownies. I love brownies so much. I mean, you can't live off brownies, but I would want a lifetime supply of them.
I am very strange though. I actually, I don't like chocolate.
All right, that's it. It's the end of the interview.
Wait, I thought we were supposed to be getting to know each other. Just wanted to let that out there. What do you like to do for fun?
I love listening to music. I mean, be it in headphones, in a concert, singing at the top of my lungs while doing my hair or something. I love, love, love listening to music. That makes me happy.
Okay, so let's talk about what you were like as a kid, because a lot of people who are going to be watching this are kids. So, Dr. Charis, what did you want to be when you grew up?
When I was a kid, I really wanted to be a singer. I love singing. I felt like, I could just be on stage and just sing my little heart out. I sang in church. And so I was like, if I could sing at church, I could sing at, the Grammys. I could be, that just made sense to me. So when I was a kid, I really wanted to be a singer.
I just love church, then Grammys.
That's the encouragement of church, right?
Yes. Especially when everyone's like, you better sing, girl. Like, I will.
Exactly.
For the rest of my life. In elementary school, what was your favorite class? And then what was your least favorite class? My
favorite class was math. I've always just loved math.
Wow.
I do not know why. I think when I was younger, my mom taught me math very, very young. Like I was maybe like 3 or 4. My least favorite class was actually English. Sadly enough, just because I didn't like being forced to write. I'm like, right now, that was hard for me. I love writing now because I genuinely feel like I have something to say and I'm writing on my terms. But when I was younger, I hated being an essay. I was like, and my sister's great at writing. She could just the night before write the most incredible essay.
No, not me.
would rave about. And I would just be like, it felt like pain. Like once I finished it, they'd be like, that's good. But I was like, it hurt to do it. Like, it wasn't,
I can't do that. I can't do that. Not at all. We'll go straight into your job. What kind of physician are you?
So I am what's called an obstetrician gynecologist, shortened to OBGYN. All that means is that you take care of women primarily when they're pregnant and when they're not pregnant. So you care for their reproductive organs, and that's super fun for me because, well, one, I'm a woman, and I think it's just really interesting. I mean, who doesn't want to deliver a baby? Like, that's one of the best parts of my job, and I've delivered hundreds of babies.
Whoa!
It's just super fun. It's amazing.
Wow. I kind of forget that you guys are also caring for just women and just how they're developing,
Exactly.
Even like teens, for example, right?
Yeah, and that's actually one of my favorite things to do. I'm an OBGYN, but I have kind of a focus area, which is younger patients, those patients that are actually 21 and under. So my favorite patients really are the teenagers. I just enjoy them a lot. That's really awesome. But kind of my training and all of that led me to like the deliveries. And then I decided to focus on kind of younger patients too.
Cool. If you had to pick one superpower that you wish you could do in your specialty, what do you think it would be?
Man, I kind of wish I could read minds. That would be really, really useful. You have patients that say some things, but they really mean other things. Like, I'm okay today. And they really mean I'm having a terrible day, but they don't want to verbalize it. Or I think that medicine sounds fine, but they're like, I really don't understand that. And I would love to know those kind of inner things, not to invade their privacy, but to be sure that they really understand what's going on, to be sure that I'm actually kind of doing my very best to serve them as a doctor. And so I guess I would want to read minds. Yeah.
What made you want to become a physician in the first place? Because you started off wanting to be a singer, but how did you get from singer to physician?
There's a lot of transitions there. I went from singer to like math teacher because I love math, And then when I got to college, I really enjoyed the math and sciences. And realized that I wanted to be able to affect change, which means, improve things, have a say, have a voice, kind of have some power when it came to women's bodies and just medicine and how people are treated with in terms of their healthcare. And so I felt like the best way to do that was to be a physician. It was until I was in college that I determined that I wanted to be a physician.
But what made you want to become an OBGYN specifically?
I also didn't realize that until I actually was in medical school, until my second year of medical school, second or third. I actually come from a family where there are physicians. My dad and brother are both OBGYNs. And so I'd seen that. But I also wanted to do something different. I didn't want to be like them. I was like, oh, that's boring. We already have 2 OBGYNs. I need to do something different. But when I got on that rotation, when I was able to experience it and actually see it up close as a medical student, I knew it was right for me. I absolutely loved it. I knew I loved it when I loved reading about it. When studying didn't feel like a chore. I had to actually stop studying because it was too late. I was like, okay, Charis, you need to go to sleep, And I'm like, but what about this? Like, I would be in my bed, like, what happens if, and then get up and read about it. I'd never had that motivation to read, and it didn't feel like a chore. It felt fun.
That's so, so important. And I know some of you guys are just like, she woke up to read? She woke up to study? All of that is pushed by passion. And we all can find something that we can be passionate about, and you will just dedicate your mind and your efforts to pursuing that passion. You're just thinking about like, how do I learn more about this thing that I'm starting to love? And it takes time. And sometimes it's just like, if you're really passionate about something, you're just going to really dedicate time to study and learn about that thing because you love it. And that's the most important point. If you don't like it, yes, it doesn't make sense why it wouldn't make sense. But she said she loves Just for the kids who are just wondering, they're just hearing you talk and they're like, I want to do what you're doing. Yeah. But how long does that take? What do I have to do? Do I have to finish elementary school? Like, do I have to go to high school for that? So what does that look like?
So it's a lot of learning and a lot of schooling, and that would make sense because when you get to the other side and you are done and you're a doctor, you have to take care of people and you need to know what could go right, what could go wrong. And you have to be very careful because you really have people's lives in your hands. And so when you think about it that way, it makes sense that it would take quite a bit of school. You have to go through elementary, middle school, junior high or so, and high school, of course. Once you leave high school, you then have to enroll in college. Mm-hmm. College takes roughly 4 years. Yeah. And after that, you go to a special school called medical school. Mm-hmm. In medical school, you do additional training that's specific to science and math and medicine. Mm-hmm. And so that is 4 years. The first 2 years are often in classrooms where you're just learning all of this knowledge. And then your third year, you go to the hospital, mm-hmm. to the clinics, and actually meet patients and learn that way. And so at the end of that 4 years, you make a decision, where you're going to go. Are you going to do, something like, I want to see kids only, so I want to be a pediatrician. I want to see adults only, so I want to be an internal medicine specialist. I want to see everything, so I want to be a family medicine doc, or I want to see women, so I do OBGYN. Mm-hmm. I want to take care of, heart, so I'm a cardiologist. Brain, I'm a neurologist. Yeah. So you pick your path from there. Once you pick your path, there's training specific to that path. And then after that, you're ready to go because you know the basics, you know the specifics, and you are ready to be a doctor.
Perfect. So now I'm sure a lot of kids who are wanting to go into medicine and they're hearing you talk about what does it take to become a physician or what does it take to become an OBGYN. I'm sure they're wondering like, oh, but I don't like science that much. Like there's certain areas of science that just makes me so bored. Or is it really just math? I don't know if I can do that for 8 years. That there's so much more to being a physician, a healthcare professional, besides loving science and being smart. So Dr. Charis, if you had to pick 2 qualities or characteristics in a person who wants to be a healthcare professional, what would those be? How can a girl be a girl for medicine?
I think the qualities that matter most are really just being kind, as in caring about other people and wanting to do what's right in scenarios. That's number one, above and away. And then I would say determination. As we mentioned, it takes a while to get to this point. You need to be able to kind of bear down and focus on what's important and follow it through. And with those 2 characteristics, I think any girl who wants to can be a girl for medicine.
Kindness is so important in this field because a lot of people are coming to you when they're not feeling their best and when they're scared and when they don't know what's going on and there's no one in their family to explain it to them, and they're going to really rely on you being kind and taking the time to hear what they're saying and try to figure out what they can't see, but about because you took the time to go to medical school or dental school or anything to learn about what's going on in this person's body and how can I tell them what's going on and figure out a way to make them feel better again. Yeah. And that's the superpower.
Yes.
But there's definitely a lot more to being a physician or healthcare professional than just being really good at science and being smart. What would you say to a little girl who looks like you and they're watching this and they want to be a girl for medicine too? What advice would you like to give to her?
So I would tell her that it's possible. It's very possible. And the number one person who has to know that it's possible is you. There's so many people who may say, man, that sounds tough. That sounds too hard. I wouldn't want to do that. And it's possible, for them, they don't want to do it. And it might seem too hard for them. That doesn't mean it's too hard for you at all. And so what I want to tell young girls is, if you want to do it, if this is what your heart says you should do, if this is what your passion is, don't let anybody at all tell you otherwise, because you have to live your life. And I know that I would not be happy if I was not doing the work that I'm doing today. And I'm super, super happy.
It's like you're speaking to me too. And so that's basically like the end of today's interview. First, just want to celebrate Dr. Charis for just being amazing and being a wonderful physician. Thank you for being part of the amazing 2%.
Yes.
And hopefully it will grow.
Let's get those numbers up.
Not hopefully, it's gonna grow. It's gonna grow. So we celebrate you for everything that you are doing, along with everyone else in your field, especially just advocating. And that means just supporting women and teenage girls in their journey to growing up and wanting to have children or not wanting to have children. Thank you for being that person looking out for them, just as a medical student. I love you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This is amazing. I wish I had this when I was younger. To all the girls watching, if you feel inspired by us, imagine how people will feel when you become a doctor. They'll be inspired. Hey,
yes, and tell us if you do. When you do, we will be a lot older, and you might be caring for us. Just let me know. Just let us know. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you like this video, subscribe, leave a comment of support, and if you'd like to stay on track of Girls for Medicine beyond YouTube, make sure you follow us at Girls for Medicine on Instagram. We also have a Facebook page, Girls for Medicine, as well. And if you'd like a copy of Girls for Medicine, right up there, you can go to girlsformedicine.com and place your order. And I'm going to sign the book as well. So let me know who that book is for, and I will be sure to leave them a wonderful note. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. MedGirl Squad!
MedGirl Squad! That's amazing. And I love it.
Okay. Bye.